So I am going to be making a video with the missing question from the Q&A on how to best utilize the therapy session, but I'm still working on how to kind of formulate what my thoughts on that one. So I'm going to be making 2 videos today. This one, I have another question that someone asked, which is, if you feel like discussing DID, do you have any experiences of co-consciousness between parts alters? How would you describe co-consciousness in general, or your experience of it? Garbage fucker. So I have a few points that I want to make. In my notes. So, okay, so I'm co-consciousness, I'm usually co-conscious. I don't usually black out. I have before. No fun. I woke up, I came to myself, actually, for periods over a few days, but mostly I came to myself after a few days, and I realized that I'd sent a bunch of messages to people, and I'd called my friend Jamie got a call in the middle of the night, and that was in my records, and so was asking her if we'd actually talked. I even wrote my therapist. That was fun. So a bunch of people got messages that I didn't remember sending, but usually I'm co-conscious. So I usually usually what that's like. I mean, dissociating beforehand, it feels a little bit fuzzy. I feel like I'm a bit high or a lot high. Like weed, in other words, not anything. I wouldn't actually know what. Anyways, I've actually been asked before. A psychiatrist was like, "Have you ever taken ecstasy?" And I was like, "No. What would that do, though?" And she didn't answer. So, anyways, it feels a little bit like a fuzz, like everything. I probably look like I'm falling asleep, but I actually feel like I'm waving around. But then when I actually switched, I don't feel that anymore. I feel their emotions. I can hear what they're saying. I can sense both. I can think for myself while everything's happening. Like I can think for myself. I can feel my own thoughts and my own concerns and my own emotions. So there's like a duel going on, like of their thoughts and emotions and my thoughts and emotions at the same time, while both being true, while they can be opposite. So there was, all right, well, the first really, no, actually, that wasn't the first time. Before I knew what was going on, before I knew that I was switching, before I even knew that this was what it was, I mean, back when I thought it was, actually for a while I thought it was mania. Before that I had no idea. But I had gone on a long trip to New Jersey. Well, a long trip, the trip was cut short, but the trip there was long. It was like a 12-hour bus ride. So I get there, and on the way, like I was stuck in a loop of traumatic thoughts, and I couldn't escape it. And then all of a sudden, the same traumatic thoughts were making me really, really happy. But I didn't realize that it wasn't me that was happy anymore. That was this dual thing going on, where I was confused about why there was so much happiness. Why was there so much happiness about these traumatic, awful things, and why was there smiling all over the face? And so much smiling that it hurt. And I was saying a lot of disturbing things, especially by the time I got to New Jersey. And my friends were confused. I remember they seemed to think I was being sarcastic, or that what was being said was sarcastic. I'm saying because from my perspective at the time, I thought it was me. I didn't know yet that it was an alter. So if that makes any sense from the story perspective. So I was saying a lot of disturbing things, and I remember the looks on my friends' faces, and yeah, they thought it was funny because it sounded like I was being sarcastic, and it was a real laugh riot, but I was laughing too. I was laughing, I was smiling, but the things that I was saying were absolutely awful. About myself, more like, I mean, about them it was great. It was positive things, it was validating things, but about myself, the things that were being said, or about themselves, the alter at the time, were saying really awful things. And then when they realized that what was being said was not sarcasm, and that it was really rooted in deep hurt. Their expressions changed, and it looked like my friend just got punched in the gut. I kind of still remember that expression. The only way that because there was a dual thing going on, there was the big happiness going on, right? But there was also me confused and wondering what the hell, because those things were, I recognized that those things were very, very true, that they weren't being put on, like I wasn't putting on a show. I knew that I wasn't making it up. Something was definitely wrong, and I recognized something was definitely wrong, but I couldn't say that. I wasn't able to say it. The things that were being said were entirely okay. So their name, the name of this altar I know now is they identify as a symbol, which is an exclamation mark. I call them X for short, or I'm not sure how they feel about that. I'm trying to find out, but I know that they identify as an exclamation mark. So exclamation mark. Where was I before I started saying that? Oh, exclamation mark was able to say what they wanted to say audibly, but me, I couldn't say, I don't get it. What is this? And I'm so confused and I'm so scared. At least not the first day. Then the only way that I was actually able to say it was by typing it. So I was able to think, well, I was able to think my thoughts, but I was able to express my thoughts to other people by typing it. And that was the only way I could use my own words. So I typed it, and that's how I actually got help. I wrote a letter to, when I went home early, I was like, because after a few days of that, I realized later I was switching more than that. Maggie had actually shown up during that time too. So I went home early, and I went to the hospital with a letter titled in bold, "Read this before you ask me to speak," because they wouldn't have been able to know what was going on based on that. So that was New Jersey. That was one experience of co-consciousness. I also had, well, I have a kind of an analogy, because there was other times where I was co-conscious, and it was like, and I wasn't able to express anything on my own words or thoughts. I compared it to being in a soundproof booth, because I was just like screaming for my voice to be heard, and there was nothing that I could do to say what I wanted to say. But I realized a few times I kind of made them blink, like pause and blink. Well, blink in the sense of like, I distracted them by kind of screaming in my head and trying to make them, because I was new to knowing what was going on at the time. And I wanted to fight for my own place and come back to my own body and make my own choices. And the only thing I could do was make them pause. And then they kept talking, but that was the best that I could do at the time. So I compare it to being in a soundproof booth, where I'm aware, I can see, I can hear, I know what's happening. I'm confused, I'm scared. At least I was scared at the time, because I wasn't used to it, and it was scary for me. It was terrifying. I was really scared that I was going to spend my entire life in a soundproof booth. It was really scary. Before that, I was afraid that I would black out and never come back, and I would never be Melissa again. But then when that happened, shortly after, I was terrified that I would spend my life in a soundproof booth, absolutely aware of everything and never actually being able to do anything about it. That was my fear. But I'm not afraid of that anymore. So there was things that they would say or do that was different. Like there was actually, like, you know, there's not just one or two of us. I'm not gonna go into everyone, but there is actually, I don't know this one's name. This was a few months ago. I call them I gave them a title that I refer to them as until I know what their name is. I call them denial and confusion. This was during one of the blackouts. I remember bits of it. I barely remember getting to the hospital. I remember they said, the psychiatrist, I remember bits of it. Actually, it was a student psychiatrist. I don't remember anything about talking to the psychiatrist. Apparently, I spoke with the psychiatrist. There's notes in my file that I spoke with the psychiatrist. I don't remember it. I swear to God, I was not there. I have no idea who they wrote in that freaking note about. But with the student psychiatrist, I remember the student doctor. So there was some kind of reference to asking if there was ever any trauma. And what they said was so completely not like me to ever say. Like, I mean, they said, so no, There was nothing traumatic. And the man in the house who married my mom before I was born, well, he was there too. And everything was always amazing. I remember saying that. That was one of the bits. It was kind of coming in and out in fuzzy conversations. But I was like, when I was there during that part, when I was co-conscious with them, I was like, what did you just say? That's so obvious what you meant. But like, I never talk like that. I'm guessing they're young. I'm not sure. But those were my points about what it's like to be co-conscious. I don't feel the fuzzy high when I'm co-conscious. That goes away. It only is there before and after. So, and then during, it just feels like I'm feeling two things at once. I can't necessarily speak for myself. That's what it's like for me. It might be different for other people. But that was what it was like for me. So, thank you. So, I'll actually talk to you guys in a video in like 5 seconds. Moving on. Take care.